Alrighty, everybody, we're ready for another game in the 1982 Game of the Week. And boy, this first four games of the week have been something else. Every one of them has gone down to the wire. Of course, the last game against Oakland and Cleveland went 15 innings, so kind of wore me out. Hopefully, this will be refreshed now with a new game here at Olympic Stadium in Montreal. Look at the starting pitchers for both teams. Bill Gullickson is on the mound for the Expos. He was 12-14 with a 3.57 ERA, and Bert Happy Hooten will be on the mound for the Dodgers. He is 4-7 with a 4.03 ERA in 21 starts. Look at the starting lineups for the Dodgers. We have Sachs. Garvey's hitting second. Kind of strange he's all the way up to second. Baker third, Mundy fourth. Guerrero in center. That's odd, but he's going to pay for it with a 4.89. Say, Yeager, Russell, and Hooten. For the Expos, Tim Raines is at second base. He split time in 82 between second and left field. So he's at second base. Cromartie's in right. Dawson's in center. Oliver's at first. Carter catching. Wallach at third. Terry Francona in left. Chris Spire at short. And Gullickson, the pitcher. Good weather because it's indoors. So for singles, lefties 1-13 and righties 1-6. And for home runs, 1-10 both ways, righties and lefties. Real quick look at the bullpens and bench for both teams. For the Expos, they have two lefties and two righties in their pen. Actually, two lefties and three righties. One of the lefties is Woody Fryman. The other one I had to print was Bill Lee. He didn't have that many appearances to get a card. For the right-hand side, Bob James the same way, not enough appearances. Bryn Smith and the closer, Jeff Reardon. So that's the bullpen for the Expos. Their bench players, they have two lefties and two switches and two righties. Two lefties are Brad Mills and John Milner. Two righties are Dan Norman and Frank Tavares, and the two switch hitters are Jerry White and Tim Blackwell. So that's everybody available for the Expos. For the Dodgers, in their bullpen, they have two lefties, Forster and Howe, and three righties, Niedenfuhr, Stewart, and Pena. And then in the bench, for the Dodgers, they have a whole bunch of lefties on the bench. They got four of them on the bench. They got Johnstone, Landreau, Orta, and Sosha, and right-hander Belanger, and then the switch hitter Darryl Thomas. All right, so we are ready to go. Got the blue dice for the Dodgers and the red D20 for the Expos. Best I could do for color coding. Bill Gullickson will finish up his warm-up tosses, and he'll be facing Steve Sachs. This is the second game of the week that the Dodgers have appeared on. They, of course, won the first game of the week on April the 10th against the Padres and blew a big lead and lost it with Fernando on the mound. Now, a month later on May 8th, they are north of the border playing the Expos. So we are ready to go. Gullickson to Sachs. That's a 5-4 rather. 5-4 is a ground ball third base X. And for the Expos, that's Wallach. He's a 3E24. 3 and a 6. 3 and a 6. Let's see. 3 and a 6 should be okay. 3 and a 6 is okay. And that's an 8. He's an E24. There is no 8, so it's a good play. Tim Wallach makes the play, one away. And I'll say it again, I don't think this one can have any more excitement than the previous four have, but every time I say that, something new and weird happens. So here's Garvey, 4-3, and that's a fly ball right field X, and that is going to be Cromartie. He's a 4E8. 4 and a 13, he'll get to that. E8 and a 10 should not be a problem. It is not. The 4 and the 13 is an F1. So he does make the play. 2 down. And that brings up Dusty Baker. 6-2, and that's going to be a ballpark home run chance for Dusty Baker. It's a 1-10. That's a 15, though, so it's just going to be a deep fly to left. And the inning is over. So nothing for the Dodgers here in the first. Tommy Lasorda settling in with his Linguini. And the Expos now. Tim Raines will be leading off against Bert Hooten. Bert Happy Hooten. Switch hitting Raines. That's a 3-10 for Raines against a right-hander. He grounds to Sachs at second base, 1 away. So he's out of there, and that brings up the Crow, Warren Cromartie. 4-11 off of Hooten, lefty. That's a fly to center. 2 down, and that brings up Andre Dawson, the Hawk. They got the Crow and the Hawk. And the Kid with Gary Carter. A lot of nicknames. 6-7. And that's a single for Andre Dawson, a 2-out single. He's going to look to get a jump because Hooten's a +4, and Yeager's a -2, gives him a +2 aggregate. So if he gets a jump, he'll be a 1-19. So they're going to try it 2 through 5, and 11 or 12, he gets the jump. 5, he gets the jump. Okay, sorry about that. I had a delivery at the door, so I had to stop. I think I just left off, if I remember correctly, Andre Dawson just got the jump to try to steal because I rolled a 5, and that fit within his category. And then we got the +4 from Hooten, the -2 from Yeager, and the -2 for being held makes it a 0. So it's going to be a 1-19. And it's a 3, so it's possible throwing error on Yeager. His T rating is a 6. And he does not throw it away, but it will be a stolen base. So a 2-out steal for Dawson gets him into scoring position. He will have to be held at second base. And Al Oliver, many consider him a borderline Hall of Famer. He is up. Havoc roll for Hooten, nothing going on. 3-6, and that's a 1-14 for a single. That's a 12, but it's only 1 star, so Dawson can only make it to third base. So runners are now at the corners with 2 down. Oliver will not try to go anywhere. He will be held. And Gary Carter, the batter. So Hooten in a little bit of trouble here in the first. Pitch to Carter. 5-8, and that is a ground ball, second base X. And that'll be Sachs. He's a 2, but they were holding the runner on, so that drops him down to a 3 because he's responsible for holding the runner at first. So it's a 3 E21. 3 and 18 is not going to be a problem. E21 and a 13. But the problem is going to be the E21. The E21 is a 13. Right there, it's a 1-base error. So even though he got to it, he boots it, and that will allow Dawson to score. An error on Sachs. 1-base error, and the Expos lead it 1-0. And Lasorda almost choked on his linguine on that one, saying, "What in the world are you doing, Mr. Sachs?" So here is Hooten now facing Tim Wallach. That's a 1-7 for Wallach, and he pops it up to Russell at short to end the inning. But the Expos get a run. It's unearned thanks to the error by Steve Sachs. But that's the way it goes. We go to the second. 1-0 Expos. Or Les Expos, or I'm not sure how it's done in French, as I am not French. All right, here is Rick Monday. 2-8 for Monday, and he walks. So here come the Dodgers, leadoff walk. And, of course, Expo fans are groaning at Rick Monday being there because last season was the Blue Monday in the playoffs, where he homered off Steve Rogers in Game 5, I believe it was. Rick Monday will not try to steal. He will be held, though, but he will not try to steal. Gullickson with the Havoc. Nothing going on. Here's Guerrero. 3-6 for Guerrero. That's a single. 2 stars. And that puts runners at first and second. So, like I said, back come the Dodgers. Guerrero may try to get a jump here, although, let's see, Carter's a -3, plus one's a -2. So that'd be a 1-14 if he got the jump. They'll go ahead and try to get the jump. 5 or 6. He gets the jump, but he can't do it. But he will be held with nobody out. Expos will play back for the double play to try to get 2 outs to give up a run. Here's the Penguin, Ron Say. 3-6, he lines it out to short, and nobody can advance. And now a double play gets the Expos out of it for Steve Yeager. The Jägermeister, nothing going on. 6-10. 6-10 is a fly ball center field X. And that's Dawson. He's a 1E9. We need the 1. He needs a high number to prevent a sacrifice fly. 5's not going to do it probably. A 1 and a 5 is going to be an F2. And F2 is a sacrifice fly. So it will be a sacrifice fly. There's no error on the play, but there will be a sacrifice fly to center field. And we got a tie game. As Rick Mundy trots in. We're tied at a run apiece. Here in the top of the second, here's Bill Russell. Nothing going on there. 2-9 for Russell, and he grounds to second to end the inning. But the sacrifice fly, courtesy of Steve Yeager, has tied the game. Go to the bottom of the second, 1-1 here at Olympic Stadium. That will bring up Terry Francona. 5-9 against Hooten. Fly ball to center. One away. Brings up Chris Spire, second base or shortstop rather. Hooten, 5-12. Split chance. 1-13 is a single. That's a 9. Actually, it's a 6. Either way, it's a single. So single by Spire. And Spire will be held, but he won't try to go anywhere. The pitcher in this case, Bill Gullickson, uses pitcher hitting card number 1. Let's check his bunt rating. He is an A bunter. So he's going to try to bunt. So we're going to have him bunt. He becomes a B bunter. A 5 should be okay, you would think. A B and a 5 is a good sacrifice. The 3 is to the catcher. So in this case, Yeager pounces out. And we'll throw to Sachs covering first base. Spire goes to second. But now there are 2 away. And back to the top of the order for Tim Raines. It's up to Tim Raines to get the hit to drive the run home. Nothing on the strategy roll or the havoc. 5-8, switch hitter batting left. It's a ground ball, second base X. So again, we're back to Steve Sachs. That could be an adventure. He's a 2. E21, 2-11 is good. E21 and a 13. That 13 looks ominous. E21 and a 13 as a second baseman. And right there again, E21 and a 13, his second error of the game for Steve Sachs. Another one base error. And that'll put runners at the corners. And that's the second error on Sachs here in just 2 innings. Raines now will be looking to get a jump. 2 through 6 or an 11. That's a 9, so he cannot get the jump. But he could try to steal without the jump. It would be a 15, be an 11. Plus the 4 would be a 15. Minus 2 would be a 13. But you got runners already in scoring position, so I think they're going to hold Raines there since he can't get the jump. And they'll try to depend on Warren Cromartie to bring the run home. Havoc roll for Hooten. Nothing going on. Hooten to Cromartie. 5-10. Catcher X. That's Yeager. He's a 2E3. 2 and a 16. 2 and a 16 for a catcher. Is a foul out. And that's a 14. With him being an E3. There is no 14, so it's a foul out to Yeager to end the inning. And Hooten pitches out of it. So we go to the third, still tied at 1 apiece here at the Olympic Stadium. Gullickson now will be facing Bert Hooten, who's a good hitting pitcher. He's using pitcher hitting card number 6. So it's a very good pretty good hitting pitcher for Hooten. Gullickson 5-6. It's off Gullickson's card. He's going to pop him up to short. 1 away. So 1 down, and here's Sachs, who, unfortunately for him, has made 2 errors. 1 cost him a run, 1 didn't. 2-10, and that's going to be damage done. That's a base hit. Was looking to get extra bases, but the D22 high, it'll be a single. But Sachs will be looking to get a jump. 2 through 6 or a 12. That's a 4, so he gets the jump. He's a 17. Being held makes him a 15. And then Carter is a -3 plus 1 makes it a 17. 1 to 17, if I'm doing that correctly. 17, 15. Make sure I'm doing this right. 17 and then -2 for being held to 15. -3 is a 12. Plus 1's a 13. So it's a 1 to 13 for Sachs. And he's in there anyway. Stolen base. Steve Sachs trying to make up for that error. He's in scoring position with 1 out. And he will have to be held on second base. hold tightly there. For Steve Yeager, I'm sorry, Steve Garvey, not Steve Yeager. Different Steve. 5-7, and that's a 1-2 double, but that's a 6, so that will end up being a fly to center. We're out number 2, and now it'll be up to Dusty Baker to get it done for Dodger Blue. Nothing on the Havoc. Gullickson 3-7 to Baker. Ground ball to second, and that's going to end the inning. So we go to the bottom of the third, still tied at a run apiece. And Hooten back out will be facing Andre Dawson, the Hawk, to start things off. 6-3, and that's a ground ball to short. Russell is there, 1 away. For Al Oliver. 3-6 for Oliver. 1-14 is a single. That's a 13. Al Oliver, 2 for 2. Professional hitter is the best way you can describe Al Oliver. He will not try to go anywhere, but he will be held. Nothing on that. Here's Gary Carter. 2-5 for Carter, and that's a single to center field. Single to center. Guerrero does have a -2 arm. So Oliver, run rating is a 12. He's been held, makes him 11. And then the -2 makes him a 9. So with 1 out, he will hold at second base. So runners are at first and second with 1 out, and here comes Tim Wallach. Havoc, nothing going on. Hooten to Wallach, 3-6. 1-11 is a double, but that's a 19, so it's a fly to center. 2 down, and it's unfortunate he couldn't get to third on the previous play because that would have been a sacrifice fly, but didn't want to take that chance against Guerrero with a good arm. And here's Terry Francona now with 2 outs and 2 on. Nothing on the Havoc. Hooten, 5-9. Fly ball to center. That's going to end the inning. So we played 3 complete here in Montreal with the score tied at a run apiece. Bill Gullickson back out. His fatigue is a 7. Hooten's is only a 5, so definitely got to keep an eye on Hooten to make sure he doesn't run into any kind of fatigue problems. All right. Played the first 3 innings standing up, and I don't know why. So now I'm sitting back down. See if I can get this thing going. Rick Monday walked and scored his first time. 4-7. Struck him out. 1 down, and that brings up Pedro Guerrero. 6-4. Catcher X, that's Gary Carter. He's a 1, E4. 1 and a 13. 1 and a 13 for a catcher is a pop out. And that's a 9, and he's an E4. No error there, just strictly a pop out to Gary Carter. 2 down for Ron Say, the Penguin. We got a Hawk, a Penguin, and a Crow in this game. 2-5 for Say. He walks. Didn't walk like an Egyptian, but he walked like a Penguin down to first base. He will be held with 2 down. Here's Yeager. Gullickson to Yeager. 6-11. And that's an in-home run. Ballpark chance. Ballpark chance for home runs is a 10, but that's a 19. So Yeager will just fly to left to end the inning. So Yeager didn't quite get enough of it, and the inning is over. Go to the bottom of the 4th, still tied at a run apiece. Here north of the border. First visit to Montreal. I think the game of the week probably comes back. I know it comes back in a couple of weeks with Cincinnati and Tom Seaver against Steve Rogers, which would be a great matchup. That will occur on the May 29th edition, which is 3 weeks from this game. All right, here is Chris Spire. 5-3 off of Hooten. As a ballpark single check for a righty. That's a 1-6. That's a 20, so he lines it to short. 1 down, and that brings up the pitcher, Gullickson, who is hitting off pitcher hitting card number 1. Hooten, 6-6. It's off of Hooten instead. It's a strikeout. So 2 down. 2 up and 2 down, and now the top of the order, and Tim Raines. Raines grounded to second and reached on one of the Sacks errors. 4-9 against the lefty. He grounds it to first, and Garvey will take it to the bag himself to end the inning. 4 innings in the books, and we're tied at a run apiece. And I would say it's going along smoothly, but I know how the last games went, thinking it's going to be a quick game, and it ends up going all those extra innings. But I'm hoping for a nice, tidy 9-inning game today. That would be nice. Bill Russell steps to the plate against Gullickson. 4-8 for Gullickson, and that's a line out to third. Whoops, wrong spot. Put it up here. Line out to third as Wallach makes the play. And now, Bert Hooton in his pitcher hitting card number 6 is back up again. 3-3, and he's going to strike out. Even though he's on number 6, he still strikes out. Top of the order now for Steve Sachs. 6-8, and that's danger. 1-4 is a triple. That's a 1. Steve Sachs has singled, and now he has tripled, but it's a 2-out triple. So Gullickson may still be able to pitch out of this. He's got to get by Steve Garvey, which is no easy task, although Garvey is 0 for 2. Nothing on the havoc. Gullickson to Garvey, 2-10, and he grounds it to first. Oliver steps on the bag, and the inning's over. So he pitched around that 2-out triple by Steve Sachs. And we go to the bottom of the 5th, still tied at a run apiece. And Warren Cromartie, the Crow, will lead things off against Hooton. 4-8, and that's a 1-2 is a triple. 3-20 is a single. That's a 1. That'll be a triple. A triple for Warren Cromartie. A leadoff triple for Warren Cromartie. A leadoff triple. It was a 4-8, and a 1-2 is a triple. That's a 1. So Cromartie's leading off with a triple. Down the infield for the Dodgers will come in. They don't give up a cheap run if they can avoid it. Hooton to Dawson, 3-9. Struck him out. Big strikeout there. 1 away. Infield remains in for Al Oliver, who is 2 for 2. So it's going to be hard to not give up something with Oliver at the plate. Hooton to Oliver, 1-11, and that's a ballpark home run chance. 1-10 would be a home run, but that's a 14, but it will be a sacrifice fly to right field. Sacrifice by Oliver, and that brings in the run. Anytime you have the failed home run chance on a ballpark effect, it turns into a sacrifice fly. So Expos grab a 2-1 lead on the sacrifice fly by Al Oliver. 5-3 is a ballpark single for Carter, and he will get that single 1-6, but that's a 2. So Carter has got a couple of hits. He will not go anywhere. He will be held, but he won't try to steal or get a jump. 3, nothing going on. Here's Wallach. 2-10 for Wallach, and he pops it up to first. Garvey fields it to end the inning. But we've played 5 complete here in Montreal. It's the Expos 2 and the Dodgers 1. And Gullickson back out. His fatigue again is a 7. Now Hooton's is a 5, and Hooton getting close to being fatigued. So here's Baker to lead it off against Gullickson. 2-7 for Baker, and that's a leadoff single. Dusty Baker, his first hit of the game. And he may be looking to get a jump. 2 through 6, an 11 or a 12. 12, he gets the jump. Starts as a 15. Being held makes him a 13. Carter -3 plus the 1 is an 11. 1-11 for Dusty Baker. And he's caught stealing. So Dusty Baker thought he could get in scoring position, but could not, as Gary Carter had other ideas and threw him out. Here's Rick Mundy. 1-3 for Mundy. Flies to center. That's 2 down. That'll bring up Pedro Guerrero. 4-8, and that's a line out to third. Wallach's got it. Inning's over. So a nice, solid, easy 6th inning for Gullickson after the caught stealing. And we go to the bottom of the 6th, still 2-1. Hooton back out, but he is on a short leash. But he is set to bat 4th next inning, so they like to get him through this 6th inning if possible. Francona, the batter. 1-11, and that'll be a ground ball to first. Garvey makes the play unassisted, 1 away. Here's Chris Spire. Hooton, 6-9. Ground ball shortstop X Russell, a 4E34. 4 and an 8. Could be issues. 4 and an 8. No, it's a G3. He'll get to that. A 7 and an E34. There is no 7, so Tough chance for Russell, but he was up to the task. 2 down for the pitcher, Bill Gullickson, and you're not going to take him out the way he's pitching. So with 2 outs and the bases empty, he will hit for himself off of pitcher hitting card number 1. And it's off Hooten anyway. 5-8. Ground ball, second base X. Again, that is Steve Sax. He's already made 2 errors. He's got to avoid that 13 on the totals of the D6s. They can't add up to 13. They add up to 10 this time, so he's okay. He makes the play. And the inning's over. So 6 innings are in the books here in Montreal, and it's the Expos 2 and the Dodgers 1. Gullickson back out. This is his point of weakness inning. And Hooten is set to bat 4th this inning, so the bullpen for the Dodgers is active. And they do have a lefty down there, Terry Forster. He is loosening in the bullpen. And to pinch hit, if it gets to that, they do have Ken Landreau swinging a bat. And he would be the pinch hitter if it gets to that. But we're ahead of ourselves a little bit, maybe. We'll see. Right now, it's Ron Say. 3-7 for Say. He grounds to second. Raines is there, 1 away. And that will send us to Steve Yeager. 6-8, and that's trouble for Gullickson. 1-4 is a triple, but that's an 8, which is a single. So Yeager, a 1-out single. And that brings up Bill Russell. Yeager will not be held. 4-5. Ground ball, shortstop X. Shortstop Aspire. He's a 3 E14. 3 and a 13. Is it going to be a chance for a double play? 3 and a 13. Nope, the G2 would be a fielder's choice. That's a 7. E14. I don't think there's any problem with the 7. There's not. It's a fielder's choice, 6-4. As Yeager is put out at second. Russell, the new runner. And now we got a pinch hitter for the pitcher, and it's going to be Ken Landreau. He will pinch hit for Hooten. And then Terry Forster will be the new pitcher in the bottom half of the inning. So Ken Landreau will be coming on for the Dodgers on the 82 season. Landreau was 284 hitter, 7 homers, and 50 runs driven in. So he's got a chance here with 2 outs and a runner at first in Russell. Nothing on the havoc. Gullickson to Landreau, 6-8. Damage done by Landreau. That's a 6. That's a double, 2 stars. Unfortunately for the Dodgers, the fact it's 2 stars means that Russell has to stop at third. But a pinch hit double for Kenny Landreau. And all of a sudden now, second and third with 2 outs now. And Gullickson, 1 base runner away from being fatigued. Has to get by Steve Sax, who singled and tripled in this game so far, despite the 2 errors. Gullickson, 5-3. Ground ball pitcher X. He's a 4 E19. If he makes an error, we got to tie a game. 4 and an E19, 4 and a 14. See if he can get to that. 4 and a 14 for a pitcher. He gets to it with a G2. That's a 14 there. I'm sorry, it's a 15 with the D6s. And he's an E19. E19, however, for Gullickson, E19 and a 15 is a 1-base error. So an error on Gullickson has now tied the score as Russell will score on the error. And how ironic is that? Steve Sax committed 2 errors, and now he hits a ground ball that results in an error for the Expos. And runners are at the corners now with 2 outs. Tie game at 2. Sax will be looking to get a jump. He needs a 2 through 6 or a 12. 9, he can't do it, so no jump, no steal. He'll stay put for Garvey. 2-9 for Garvey. Struck him out, and the inning's over. But the tying run has reached, and we go to the 7th inning stretch here in Montreal with the score tied at 2. Gullickson may be done as well. We shall see. Terry Forster, the new pitcher for the Dodgers, in the bottom of the 7th. And look at his numbers. He was 5-6 with a 3.04 ERA with 3 saves. And he can go pretty much 2 innings if he needs to. He'll be facing the top of the order, Tim Raines. Andre Dawson, Al Oliver. I'm sorry, Warren Cromartie, Andre Dawson, Al Oliver. 3 of the next 4 are either switch hitters or lefties. So Forster, start the bottom of the 7th, tied at 2. 2-8 for Raines, and that's trouble for Forster. 1 to 10's a triple, but that's a 15. It is a leadoff single for Tim Raines, and you know he's going to be looking to get the jump. In 82, Raines stole 78 bases. Got caught 16 times. Forster is a +3. Yeager is a -2. It's an aggregate of +1. Being held is a -2, aggregate of -1. So if he gets the jump, it'd be a 1 to 18. So they got to try it. 2 through 6 or an 11 gets him the jump. 5, he cannot get the jump. So he will stay put. I don't think they want to try it without the jump because you lose 6 more points off of that. So they're going to stay put. And here's Warren Cromartie, lefty on lefty against Forster. 2-6 for Cromartie. 1 to 6 is a home run. That is a 6. It is gone. Warren Cromartie, the Crow. The Crow. Not quote the Raven, but quote the Crow. A 2-run homer for Warren Cromartie. And the Dodger bullpen, just like it did on the game against the Padres, has imploded again. This time it's Terry Forster imploding. And the Expos grab a 4-2 lead. And now the Dodger bullpen again begins to loosen. And they have down there now loosening right-hander Alejandro Pena. Warmed up as fast as he can. Here's Dawson. 2-5 against the lefty. That's a single. So Forster's not fooling anybody. This will bring up Al Oliver, and this may be his last batter. Dawson, does he have a chance to get a jump? He does. That's a 4, and that will get him the jump. So a 19 being held is a 17 because you have -2. But then you have the +1, so that makes him an 18. 1 to 18, he makes it. And he does. Stolen base for Andre Dawson. As the Expos have the foot on the gas pedal. And here is Al Oliver. Havoc roll for Forster, nothing happening. Oliver, lefty on lefty against Forster, 5-7. Ground ball, second base, X. And second baseman, Sachs again. Trying to avoid a third error if he possibly can. Has to avoid that 13. He did. It's only a 6. So let's check everything else. That's a 7. He's a 2. That's no problem. 2 and a 7 is a G2. It'll be a fielder's choice, where Dawson will go to third anyway. Being at second base, he would go to third automatically. That's a 6, and he's an E21. E21, nope, there's a 4 and a 13, but no 6. So a good play there by Sachs for 2 down, but Dawson does, 1 away. But Dawson does go to third base. So now Dawson's at third with only 1 out, and Gary Carter, the batter. So they're going to go to the bullpen again, or the Dodgers. And they're going to go to the right-hander, Alejandro Pena. The infield will have to come in. They have no choice. On the season, Pena was 0-2 with a 4.79 ERA. But they're going for the right-hander, Alejandro Pena, to try to get out of this. The infield, of course, is in. They're already down by 2. They don't want to give up anything else if they can avoid it. Gary Carter trying to drive home that another insurance run. 1 chance for a wild pitch is a 5. And it's a 5. Alejandro Pena, wild pitch is in the run. The first batter he faces. It's a wild pitch, and that brings the run home. It is now 5-2 Expos. And Tommy Lasorda just doesn't know what to do. He's got bullpen woes for sure. 110 for Carter. That's a ballpark home run chance. It might be more woes than this. 1 to 10 is a home run, but that's an 11. We're not doing the robbing the home runs or anything, so that's just going to be a straight out fly out to left field for out number 2. So 2 down. And Tim Wallach, the batter. 6-8 off of Pena. It's ground ball to short to end the inning. But 3 runs come in for the Expos, and they grab a 5-2 lead as we head to the 8th inning. And now let's see what the Expos want to do with Bill Gullickson. He kind of was pretty much at his limit just about with pitching, being tired. So they may end up going to the bullpen here. Let's see what they want to do. They do have a couple of righties, and they got a lefty, Woody Fryman, if they want to go there. Dodgers have righty, lefty, righty coming up. How do they want to play this? Actually, they're going to bring in Bryn Smith. Bryn Smith is on. And for the season in 82, he was 2-4 with a 4.20 ERA, 1 start and 3 saves. So Bryn Smith is on, and he'll be facing Baker, Monday, and Guerrero. So Bryn Smith and Gullickson goes 7 and would qualify for the win if the Expos can hold this 3-run lead. 5-2 Expos, top of the 8th. Dusty Baker. 6-7, ground ball, second base X. That's Raines. He's a 4 E27. 4-3, that's going to get through for a base hit. E27, there is no 11, but it is a single. Leadoff single for Dusty Baker. His second hit. Down by 3, he's not going to try to steal, but he will be held. Smith now, nothing on that. Here's Monday. Whoops, Suadice, let's re-roll that. 3-12, and that's he just missed a ballpark home run chance, which would have been a home run, but a 3-12 was a fly to center, 1 away, so almost had Blue Monday all over again, but didn't quite get it. Here's Pedro Guerrero, nothing there. Smith to Guerrero, 3-4, fly to center, that's 2 down. 2 down for Ron Say. Nothing going on there. 3-7 for Ron Say, and he grounds to second to end the inning. And we go to the bottom of the 8th. Pena is going to come back out, I think. Let's double check it. Francona, yeah, they're going to go ahead and let him come back out. And they will pinch hit for Bryn Smith because his time is coming up. So the Expos will go to their bench. And then Jeff Reardon will come on to try to save it in the top of the 9th. So on the bench for the Expos, they have several lefties that they can turn to, and also switch hitter in Jerry White. Not sure who they want to go to here. Actually, they will go to Jerry White, the switch hitter. So it'll be Francona, Spire, and Jerry White coming up to face Alejandro Pena. So Jerry White will be the pinch hitter for Bryn Smith, who goes 1 inning. And then Jeff Reardon will be coming on to pitch the 9th. Try to close it down. Pena, meanwhile, is going to try to keep things right where they are. Here's Francona. 6-5, and that's a ground ball shortstop X. Bill Russell. He's a 4 E34. 4-1, that's going to be a base hit. The 10's not a problem, but the base hit is. It's a leadoff single for Terry Francona. He will be held, but he won't try to go anywhere. Nothing on the Havoc. Here is Spire. 5-3. That's a fly ball left field X. Dusty Baker is a 1 E8. 1 of 10 is no problem. E8 and a 12. E8 and a 12 is not a problem. So Dusty Baker makes the catch. 1 down. And now Jerry White, the pinch hitter, steps up. And on the season, White was 243 at 115 at bats. 2 homers and 13 driven in. So Pena to White. Nothing on the Havoc. 4-6, switch hitter batting left. 4-6 is a walk. So Jerry White, the pinch hit walk, puts runners at first and second. And now they're going to pull Pena. And they're going to go to Steve Howe. Try to get him out of the inning. Steve Howe will be on. Don't know why I have Yeager up there. That's the wrong order. Wrong side of the equation there. Sorry about that. Tim Raines is actually the one due up, switch hitter, followed by the lefty Cromartie, which is why they're going to Steve Howe. So Steve Howe is on to try to keep the score where it is. 1 out here in the bottom of the 8th with the Expos leading 5-2. 2 on, 1 out. Howe to Raines. Nothing on the Havoc. Raines will turn around about right-handed. 4-5 against the righty. Oh, Steve Howe just gave a big blow here, a double, 2 stars. And that will score the run, making it 6-2. We may not see Reardon after all. If the score gets way out of hand, they may just let somebody else finish the game. We'll see. White has to stop at third because there's 2 stars. He cannot score. And now, infield's going to have to come in. Nothing going on there. Hal to Cromartie. 3-9 for Cromartie. Ground ball, second base C. We'll check it with the infield in. Infield in. Whoops, where's my little chart? Infield in, second and third. Infield in, a C is a 1, means the runner had to hold. So 2 down, and the runners had to hold where they were. And now here's Andre Dawson, followed by Al Oliver. Do you let him pitch to Dawson, or do you walk him and load the bases for Al Oliver, lefty on lefty, or do you pitch to Dawson? Tough choice, but they're going to walk Dawson and pitch to Oliver. Going to walk Dawson intentionally, load the bases, and pitch to Al Oliver. Al to Oliver. Nothing on that. Lefty on lefty against Al Oliver. 2-5. Ground ball to second. Ends the inning. But the run does score. It is now 6-2 Expos as we go to the bottom of the ninth. Or top of the ninth, rather. Now, do you want to bring in Reardon, or do you bring in somebody else? And let's see who's coming up for the Dodgers. Yeager, Russell, and a pinch hitter. I think you're just going to go with Reardon regardless, just because you don't want to blow the lead if you can avoid it. They've already used Landreau as a pinch hitter. We might pinch hit for Yeager as well with Scioscia. No, Scioscia's not really as good. Jay Johnstone has picked up a bat and will hit for the pitcher. So we're going to have Yeager, Russell, and Jay Johnstone will be the order to face Reardon. So Jay Johnstone, with his time with the Dodgers before he goes to the Cubs later this year, he would pinch hit. But right now it is Jeff Reardon time. Russell, Yeager, Russell, and Johnstone. 1-10, and that's a fly to right field, 1 away. Brings up the shortstop, Bill Russell. 1-9, and that's a ground ball to short, 2 down. And now it's up to the pinch hitter, Jay Johnstone. Jay Johnstone, the last hope for the Dodgers. 2-3, and that's a ground ball to first, and the ball game is over. Dodgers again lose on game of the week. This one belongs to the Expos by the score of 6-2. Winning pitcher was Bill Gullickson. Loser was Bert Hooton, and no save because Reardon came up to 4-run lead, so there's no save to worry about. So that one was it was a decent game. It was nondescript. Certainly didn't have the excitement of the previous 4, but you can't always have that. I mean, that's something that couldn't be sustained. That was just weird stuff going on. This was more normal, if you want to call it that, for a game. Still good nonetheless, as the Expos win it by the score of 6-2. Stay tuned for the next game of the week, which will be the May 15th contest, where Boston will travel to Kansas City to Royal Stadium to take on the Royals. That'll be the next game of the week on Strat-O-Matic 1982. Till next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I will see you all down the road.